A proposition on the ballot in New York State epitomizes why people are increasingly turned off by our political system. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. The essence of democracy is that governments don't do things, especially big ones, without the consent of the governed. That bedrock principle has been undermined for years. First, it was the courts, including the Supreme Court, legislating from the bench. For decades, the left counted on the judiciary to enact programs and initiatives that were often unpopular. A classic case was New Jersey's highest court forcing the state legislature to pass an income tax, ostensibly to get more money to fund schools. Voters didn't want the tax, which is why legislators had previously rejected it. In more recent times, however, the judiciary, especially the Supreme Court, has been moving away from acting like legislatures. Instead, the left has counted on increasing activism from government bureaucracies and regulatory agencies to enact their unpopular agendas. Getting rid of gasoline and diesel-powered cars and trucks, for instance, would never win a referendum outside of a few precincts on the East and West Coasts. But the EPA and other agencies hope to achieve this goal by passing rules, supposedly to reduce emissions, that will actually make vehicles with internal combustion engines absolutely unaffordable. Another route is the referendum that ostensibly has one purpose, a popular one, but is cleverly worded in a way to achieve agendas that most people oppose. The most blatant example this November is New York State's Proposition 1. Its official title is the Equal Rights Act. It is being peddled as a protection of a woman's right to abortion. This is a ruse. New York already has one of the most liberal abortion laws in the country, and politically is encased in cement. The proposition doesn't even use the word abortion. There are other agendas in this proposition. The big one is to enable immigrants who are not U.S. citizens to be able to vote in state elections. New York City passed such a provision in 2021. Some 800,000 green card holders would have had the right to vote in the Big Apple's elections. The courts threw it out. After all, Article 2, Section 1 of the state's constitution limits voting to citizens 18 years and older and who have resided in the state for 30 days. Proposition 1's authors were too clever to overtly challenge that. Instead, it prohibits discrimination based on, quote, national origins, end of quote, and activists believe the wording will enable them to get around Section 2, Article 1. They even believe that they can use Proposition 1 to allow illegals to vote. An up or down vote on such a proposal of allowing non-citizens to vote would be overwhelmingly rejected. Hence, this underhanded method of Proposition 1. The far left also believes that Proposition 1 would enshrine the right of men who proclaim they are women to participate in women's sports. Again, a vote on this idea would never pass. There are other things that Prop 1 could facilitate that would never withstand an open vote. All this is why Proposition 1 should be rejected. It is a prime example of using false pretenses to seek in programs that the public is against. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.